Facebook lied to you. Radio lied to you. Radio fucked you.
You know, for those of you new to my channel, if you go back to my earlier videos, you would notice that though I was suspicious of the things that I was seeing being said about R. Kelly from the beginning, I tried to be neutral and just point out things that I found odd in particular. So when I just continued to research, it was almost like I was being forced to pick a side, especially when all the information I was coming across solidified the fact that these people are bullshitting and playing with our emotions. And you can look at it on a deeper level and say they're feeding off of all this energy being put out there. Or you can just look at it on a surface level and just say, flat out right, these people are playing with your emotions and are manipulating facts, bringing forth rumors about a person, expecting the public to publicly convict these people instead of letting the judicial system handle it. So from the beginning, I said and still say, these people surrounding R. Kelly are suspect as a mug. It made no sense to me how a person of his stature had nobody looking out for his best interests and how there was nobody facilitating these jobs they like to get on social media and claim. So when I see all these weird-ass people jumping out the woodwork trying to make themselves relevant to me when they're not, I just want to say this.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
All these people, they wanted to have their exclusives. They wanted to be able to jump on their platform and say this, I know this, I talked to this person, blase, blase. But again, forget everything that I'm sitting here telling y'all, that people should be mindful this is an open investigation and these people are suspect. Despite me saying that, now people want to keep coming at me because they're dumb. Moving on.
We begin with the bombshells dropped today in New York's case against R. Kelly. For the first time, we're hearing of a John Doe, a young boy R. Kelly is accused of abusing, and a Cook County official bribed. Our Jermont Terry read the court documents front to back live in our Streetside studio tonight. Jermont.
Brad, the feds are laying it all out in these 52 pages. The new accusations accuse bribery of a clerk here in Cook County and describe young boys as R. Kelly victims, too.
New federal documents from NYC for the first time accuse R. Kelly of molding young boys. In 2006, court papers show Kelly met a John Doe #1, then asked the boy what he was willing to do to succeed in the music business, and clarified he wanted John Doe #1 to engage in sexual contact with Kelly. The teen introduced Kelly to a male friend. The complaint goes on to say, years later, Kelly started a sexual relationship with John Doe #2. At times, even paid John Doe #2 after sexual encounters with him. The complaint says the boys met Kelly when they were both 17. Prosecutors say they have a witness who will testify Kelly made her download child pornography involving boys. The complaint says they found screen recordings of young males engaging in sex acts. One video is approximately 10 minutes long. Prosecutors say Kelly's cell phone had a video on the device, also indicates the file was created on the device in May 26, 2019.
It was just a quick little ceremony.
That was months after the Surviving R. Kelly documentary was released. In the series, countless women spoke about what they describe as physical and sexual abuse by Kelly. The federal papers say in 2019, Kelly's crisis manager told Kelly that he had two people who know a lot and told Kelly to figure out what you can do for them, suggesting the people were open to bribes. Those bribes included someone who works at the Cook County Courthouse. Prosecutors say the crisis manager told Kelly he'd pay the clerk in Cook County $2,500 in order to obtain information about Kelly's legal trouble. The feds say there's a recording of the entire conversation.
Now, R. Kelly remains in federal custody in New York City. The R&B singer maintains his innocence, yet he is still facing two separate trials, one here in Chicago and the federal case in NYC. Kelly's attorney has until the end of this month to respond to these new accusations. Otherwise, his federal trial in New York gets underway in August. Reporting live in the Streetside studio tonight, Jermont Terry, CBS 2 News. Brad?
Jermont, our thanks tonight.
Like I've said, it's no coincidence these media outlets that are participating in broadcasting these updates surrounding Robert Kelly. Just like these interviews we saw facilitated in efforts to try to incriminate him, and all these janky-ass people being sent in his directions to put all these criminal actions they partook in on him. Hence the RICO charge. So if they can keep putting other people's criminal activity onto the man they say is head of this RICO, it don't matter what other people keep coming on their platform trying to excuse, when he specifically told individuals not to give this man a platform. Yet they did anyway, and didn't care to understand why he may have said that. Now, what I said from the beginning, these instances are just being played out on public platforms, and all these prosecutors are doing are showing us they're pulling these stories from social media, from these media outlets, and putting them in these indictments. But the burden of proof is still on them.
Why the fuck these niggas wanna go against the grain? Yeah. Why the fuck these niggas wanna drag a nigga name?
Listen, bro, the call, look, bro, the man dealt with R. Kelly in my living room, bro. The man dealt with R. Kelly in my kitchen. We dealt with Don Russell in my kitchen, bro. Translation is coming out. It's coming out. And unfortunately, we can't rely on the United States that the goofy motherfuckers like him exist. So we put it all overseas first to get momentum and to raise money so that it can go to his defense. Period.
Joining me now is Daryl Johnson, a publicist for R. Kelly. I'm so glad to have you here. Thank you. The world is fascinated with this story, and we appreciate you joining us here this evening. So let's talk about today. The mother of Jocelyn Savage said that she is pleading for a face-to-face interview with you to arrange it between her daughter.
Well,
you say that could happen as early as this week?
it could happen if all the terms are met.
So can you tell us what the conditions are? What are the conditions?
Based on the last meeting, I heard that happen. It turned out pretty bad.
Okay.
So I want something contained. We'd have maybe one camera, a mediator, not to just let them do what they do, and someone to sit and just listen. And when it's over, perhaps interview each participant there and say, what did you get out of it? And then, everybody got what they wanted.
I wanted to get that out of the way because that's the newest piece of information in this, is at the meeting, because there are two families here who have been saying that their daughters are being held hostage. You've reached out to one family. The other family, you've reached out to both. The other family you're trying to get in touch with to arrange a meeting as well.
I'll get in touch with them tomorrow.
Okay. He's facing 10 charges of aggravated criminal sexual abuse. It's after 2 decades, Daryl, of constant accusations. These women are lying?
I'm not calling anybody a lawyer. What I would say is to those people who have brought the facts, their attorneys, present your facts, and Mr. Kelly will have his day in court. Now, if I was a judge, me personally, and I thought a guy was a known pedophile over the last 30 years, why is probation even on the table? If this guy is a known pedophile, if he's holding these people hostage, why haven't the doors be kicked in?
Well, I mean, I think that's a legal process. I don't think that speaks to guilt or innocence.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if a judge over these years thought that this is what it was, you got enough to indict, just have zero bond.
The receipts are checking out, but if all the receipts are checking out that I'm going to put out, R. Kelly may be innocent. Yeah. So much so, I took down the video that I did on the so-called enablers, because I got that information from Angelo, Tim Savage, Cash Jones, Who else? Who else gave me that information? It was so many people. Lisa Van Allen. Yeah.
Hey y'all.
People came and watched over my daughter. You know, they know exactly who they is. Brother Shabazz, man, major respect, brother. Thank you. And the other big homies, I won't mention y'all yet. I know y'all said shout y'all out, but I'm not. I'm gonna let y'all do that yourself on the next reunion. I thank people that was that know really what's going on in Chicago, what happened, and everything that really kicked off. And I want to tell y'all, man, thank y'all for really opening up and apologizing for the things y'all didn't know, and being man and woman enough to understand that this guy is more than what anybody imagined. This dude is sick, and that he had a lot of people fooled. And there ain't nothing wrong with people being fooled, you know, behind this situation at all. But one thing you gotta understand is always keep an open ear and an open heart to accept the truth. One thing I created, Team Truth, LLC, for the truth. It wasn't putting out to make people look bad, to do nothing. It was to start cleaning up some of the controversy and bullshit that people put out about people. And that's not on the internet. I'm talking about on the streets as well as on the internet. People just talk and talk and talk and talk. And people talk so much that they start learning how to make a lie of truth.
We did our job. We brought the information to the public. Surviving R. Kelly went off, we kept that shit going. We got bus drivers, we got police officers, we got assistants, we got friends, we got people to lie, we got the storage, we got motherfucking video, audio.
You know, I received calls in the midst of some things about my daughter's fight, which I wasn't there. I was en route, but I wasn't there when it happened. But I don't speak on my daughter's business, so I didn't know. I didn't see the video. I didn't see any of it. But the difference was, I told T to, you know, she could narrate whatever she heard. I can't stop nobody if my daughter put it out there. But to use words like, my daughter is an informant for the feds or whatever, I think people should really know what them words mean before you just display them and put that on anybody.
And when I drop the videos, the pictures, the paperwork, for him to get on live to say that Azrael is not right in R. Kelly, really? Really? Now, I gave him R. Kelly's jail records. Ask him how he got R. Kelly's jail records. Ask him how I got the emails between Azrael and R. Kelly. So you mean to tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about?
Just a quick reminder, make sure you go and check out my site, www.pdpastries, for all your pastry needs. I do ship, and you can send your payments through Cash App. All contributions to my food truck is always open.
Cookie, I'm a cookie monster. Break your back, crack it open like a lobster.